There are two motives for reading a book. One, that you enjoy it. The other, that you can boast about it. Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric. Of all forms of caution, caution in love is perhaps the most fatal to true happiness. The fundamental cause of the trouble is that in the modern world, the stupid are cocksure, while the intelligent are full of doubt. To fear love is to fear life, and those who fear life are already 3 parts dead. I would never die for my beliefs, because I might be wrong. And if there were a God, I think it very unlikely that he would have such an uneasy vanity as to be offended by those who doubt his existence. A stupid man's report of what a clever man says can never be accurate, because he unconsciously translates what he hears into something he can understand. 3 passions, simple but overwhelmingly strong, have governed my life. The longing for love, the search for knowledge, and unbearable pity for the suffering of mankind. In all affairs, it's a healthy thing now and then to hang a question mark on the things you have long taken for granted. Our great democracies still tend to think that a stupid man is more likely to be honest than a clever man, and our politicians take advantage of this prejudice by pretending to be even more stupid than nature made them. One of the symptoms of an approaching nervous breakdown is the belief that one's work is terribly important. Fear is the main source of superstition and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. The hardest thing to learn in life is which bridge to cross and which to burn. It's easy to fall in love. The hard part is finding someone to catch you. To teach how to live without certainty and yet without being paralyzed by hesitation is perhaps the chief thing that philosophy, in our age, can still do for those who study it. Most people would sooner die than think. In fact, they do so. It is the preoccupation with possessions, more than anything else, that prevents us from living freely and nobly. Those who have never known the deep intimacy and the intense companionship of happy mutual love have missed the best thing that life has to give. Collective fear stimulates herd instinct and tends to produce ferocity toward those who are not regarded as members of the herd. We know very little, and yet it is astonishing that we know so much, and still more astonishing that so little knowledge can give us so much power. No one gossips about other people's secret virtues. It has been said that man is a rational animal. All my life I have been searching for evidence which could support this. The secret of happiness is to face the fact that the world is horrible, horrible, horrible. The fact that an opinion has been widely held is no evidence whatever that it is not utterly absurd. Indeed, in view of the silliness of the majority of mankind, a widely spread belief is more likely to be foolish than sensible. One of the painful things about our time is that those who feel certainty are stupid, and those with any imagination and understanding are filled with doubt and indecision. Patriots always talk of dying for their country, but never of killing for their country. The infliction of cruelty with a good conscience is a delight to moralists. That is why they invented hell. So far as I can remember, there is not one word in the Gospels in praise of intelligence. Not to be absolutely certain is, I think, one of the essential things in rationality. Neither a man nor a crowd, nor a nation, can be trusted to act humanely or to think sanely under the influence of a great fear. The opinions that are held with passion are always those for which no good ground exists. Indeed, the passion is the measure of the holder's lack of rational conviction. Opinions in politics and religion are almost always held passionately. If there were in the world today any large number of people who desired their own happiness more than they desired the unhappiness of others, we could have paradise in a few years. Even if the open windows of science at first make us shiver after the cozy indoor warmth of traditional humanizing myths, in the end, the fresh air brings vigor, and the great spaces have a splendor of their own. I believe in using words, not fists. I believe in my outrage knowing people are living in boxes on the street. I believe in honesty. I believe in a good time. I believe in good food. I believe in sex. The secret of happiness is this: let your interest be as wide as possible, and let your reactions to the things and persons who interest you be as far as possible friendly rather than hostile. The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people so full of doubts. Everything is vague to a degree you do not realize, till you have tried to make it precise. The greatest challenge to any thinker is stating the problem in a way that will allow a solution. Anything you're good at contributes to happiness. When considering marriage, one should ask oneself this question: will I be able to talk with this person into old age? Everything else is transitory, the most time is spent in conversation. The good life is inspired by love and guided by knowledge. To be without some of the things you want is an indispensable part of happiness. Science is what you know, philosophy is what you don't know. Sin is geographical. I think we ought always to entertain our opinions with some measure of doubt. I shouldn't wish people dogmatically to believe any philosophy, not even mine. What is wanted is not the will to believe, but the will to find out, which is the exact opposite. Only women know that sex helps people being sexed. This means that we have a body with ability to feel more pleasure. Remember your humanity and forget the rest. Dogmatism is the greatest of mental obstacles to human happiness. Man is a credulous animal and must believe something. In the absence of good grounds for belief, he will be satisfied with bad ones. To like many people, spontaneously and without effort, is perhaps the greatest of all sources of personal happiness. Life is nothing but a competition to be the criminal, rather than the victim. There is no reason to suppose that the world had a beginning at all. The idea that things must have a beginning is really due to the poverty of our thoughts. A happy life must be to a great extent a quiet life, for it is only in an atmosphere of quiet that true joy can live. Conventional people are roused to fury by departure from convention, largely because they regard such departure as a criticism of themselves. Is there any knowledge in the world which is so certain that no reasonable man could doubt it? Nothing is so exhausting as indecision, and nothing is so futile. Patriotism is the willingness to kill and be killed for trivial reasons. Conquer the world by intelligence, and not merely by being slavishly subdued by the terror that comes from it.